All right, welcome. It's Friday, and we are ready to talk about some comic books. And we'll start with introductions. I'm Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Doug.
I'm Lucas.
And running the show is Rashad.
Hello. I look very slouchy today. Sorry.
No, you don't.
Well, we just had some good vittles, and yeah, because I'm country, I'm from Harvard.
Victuals.
And, and we're going to have some fun tonight. So first we want to talk about what supervillain powers would we have if we could have any. And so we're going to say what it is
Villains.
and why would it have that power. And so I'm going to pick the power of the Master of Magnetism, Magneto himself, because even though I really consider him an anti-hero, but the reason I chose that power is because he can create some beautiful things at, just manipulating metal, but at the same time his power is so incredibly deadly, as evidenced by how he so easily killed Marvel Girl back in the day with a brain aneurysm. And I'm just thinking, well, if you could do that, why does anyone even ever fight you? Why are you just out murdering people? And I think there's probably things that he could do with his powers that he hasn't even touched on that could, affect the whole world. So if I was going to be a villain, that could be some really dangerous stuff.
Yeah.
All right, who's next? I guess Doug is next.
Oh, does Doug need to go?
Yeah, we're going in order.
Well,
we're going in order.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I chose time travel because I felt that because initially I chose a different power, and I was like, well, that doesn't really, really sell the whole villain thing. And I was like, well, what would I like to do as like a power in itself? And I'd like the ability to go back in time and punch Hitler. And I was like, well, if I'm gonna be a villain, why don't I just go back in time and choke him out in the crib? And I was like, okay, let's do that. So time travel, because I hate time travel stories, and if I came back in time, came back to the future or anywhere else, I would automatically be the supervillain who kills babies. I would be the baby killer.
Baby killer.
Because that'd probably be the easiest way to take out some of these motherfuckers. Like, let's just say Hitler in the crib. Nero, Stalin in the crib before he even thought about being a priest.
Trump.
Trump.
Whoops.
Trump. That would have been a good one. Let's see. Who else? Kim. Any of the Kims in North Korea. So we have all these wonderful options, and Doug would be known as the baby killer, the most.
Well, that is a villain.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
Yeah.
But you're killing someone like Hitler, and that's kind of.
But then no one.
But they wouldn't know, yeah.
And then like someone else would have to be Hitler because someone else would think that's an awesome idea. Kill 6 million, 7 million people and all that shit. And I have to do that too. It's as public service. It's kind of a thing. It builds up over time. So
Lucas?
So I chose reality manipulation because I can just make whatever I want happen.
So let's see. The person that has that power is Legion, right?
Well, no, I mean,
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch.
Oh, Scarlet Witch.
Well,
Yeah, that's
Scarlet
right.
Witch, Legion. Yeah, Legion does
So
have
you're
it
not
as well.
you're not thinking like just controlling someone's reality, like the way they perceive it. You're talking about like controlling reality.
Controlling reality and making it what I want.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's- that is
similar
truly godlike.
Similar to, not No More Mutants, but more like House of M, which I guess is kind of in the same, vein. But yeah, I mean, I could, I wouldn't have to travel in time because I could just make whatever I wanted be true and just live however I wanted to.
Be like the time stone, or not the time stone.
Power Stone.
The stones you can just snap it from the ball.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be me because yeah.
Rashad, what about you?
So you'd be like Q from Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Lucas's Q would be the funnest. that would be the silliest supervillain of all time. And I'm down for that.
Just like messing with people.
All right, Rashad, what about you?
Alright, so my supervillain power would be mind control. Specifically for naughty reasons. I can make anyone do what. I know that sounds bad.
Filthy.
Well, you're a villain.
You're a villain.
Filthy.
Oh, well, it's fucking then. Fucking everything. Woo!
We're gonna need a disclaimer. Oh, yeah. You're gonna need a disclaimer before the reruns of this.
Language and adult
The
situations.
language and adult situations.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Derek.
Well, I'm going to have to explain why I chose this, but I chose immortality because, in the vein of what was that character? The one in DC.
Oh, Vandal Savage.
Yeah, Vandal Savage. Because in essence, nothing is new to him, and he's been able to affect things throughout time to create this scenario where he can, do something like 10, a million years or however much of it for him is like nothing, maybe. So he can set something in motion in Egypt that then takes place, ultimately it takes place down the road. So it's the ultimate end game. But I know that's, I don't know, that might not be the best superpower to
I mean,
choose for
I
that.
feel
but
like there's like a lot of
Right.
Mandela effects that you could like do
yeah.
to.
The other one
make
I
that-
thought about was just like a little bit more, harsh, and that would be just like death touch, like death.
About Kedavra.
Yeah, basically.
That would be cool.
I'd probably overuse that.
I laughed I was able to pull out Vandal Savage's name because,
That is.
my friends who know me know my
Impressed.
memory is garbage, but in this comic book stuff, I can just pull it out.
That was pretty good. Thank you
Right.
for doing that.
We were talking the other day, and I was like, oh yeah, that was Titans number 44.
I was like, holy shit.
Mhm.